Hello?
Why don't you want to talk to me?
Who is this?
You tell me your name, I'll tell you mine.
I don't think so.
What's that noise?
Popcorn.
You making popcorn?
Uh-huh.
I only eat popcorn at the movies.
Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Oh, just some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Halloween. You know, the one with the guy in the white mask who walks around and stalks babysitters?
Yeah.
What's yours?
Guess.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Is that the one where the guy had knives for fingers?
Yeah, Freddy Krueger.
Freddy, that's right. I like that movie. It was scary.
Well, the first one was, but the rest sucked.
So, you got a boyfriend?
Why? You want to ask me out on a date?
Maybe. Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
You never told me your name.
Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
What did you say?
Alright, everybody, welcome to Woodsboro. This is the Skeleton Crew Scream Retrospective. We're going to cover Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4, and unfortunately have nothing to say about the TV show that never actually came to fruition. This is Alex. I am with Dan Chase and Jamie Jenkins. What's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
Glad to be here as always. This is going to be fun.
We're in Woodsboro now. God, we left the dungeon. We just headed over to Woodsboro.
The weather's nice.
We took the bus.
The sun's a little bright, but you know that happens when you're in a dungeon all the time.
Right?
My skeleton won't stay its whitest. It's going to get that jersey tan even though we're in Woodsboro.
You're going to be walking around with an orange skeleton.
Dude, I saw somebody today that literally looked like a fucking pumpkin. Like, they were so orange. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are the days of tanning fucking beds over, or does anybody still do that?
Here they do.
Well, yeah, Jersey they do, but Jersey's a whole other world.
Hopefully real people don't. I'm just kidding. I'm from Jersey, and people from Jersey are probably like, hey, asshole. Hey, asshole!
It's true, though. That's what makes it funny.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're like we said, we're going to get into all the Scream movies. We were going to do this for a long time, and the thing we were really waiting for was the Scream TV show, because, you know, we usually like to tie our retros into something current. With the Psycho, we did it for the Bates Motel TV show. With Hatchet, we did it for Hatchet 3. With Evil Dead, we did it for the Evil Dead remake.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Huh. I thought it was totally random.
Oh, no. We're so thought after.
It's chess, not checkers.
Texas Chainsaw, we did it for Texas Chainsaw 3D. That new one.
Yep.
What else did we do? Jaws, I think we just did that for the summer. Because it was July 4th, right, when that happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we talking retros? Which retros?
Yeah, just retros. And
Sleepaway Camp.
Sleepaway, we did that just for the summer, I think.
That was fun.
Friday, we did that to start the show off with the 12 Days of Friday the 13th, leading up to Friday the 13th, the second Friday the 13th of 2012. And, of course, we say it's the first on our show. So we start our show off wrong right off the bat.
That's how we do it.
You can tell this is where it's going.
We can plan it so perfectly where we can have the last one hit Friday the 13th leading up to it, yet we can't get the other end of it.
We don't even know which one it actually is. So that's that. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing to add, so we'll be right back with Scream 1996.
Hey guys, it's Wazell from Banana Laser.
Hey yo, and this is Dave Z, and you're listening to
The Skeleton Crew.
Someone is playing a deadly game.
It all began with a scream over 911.
Someone who's seen one too many scary movies. Now, he's taken his love of fear
Hello?
Hello, Sydney.
one step too far.
Do you like scary movies.
What's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a scary movie. Number 1, you can never have sex.
It's me.
Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back.
Get another beer, you want one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back!
He didn't make the rules.
The police are always off track. If they watch prom night, they'd save time.
He just kills by them. Don't answer the phone. Don't open the door. Don't try to hide.
Everybody's a suspect!
Not scared, are you?
Scream, 1996.
This movie makes me feel old. That's what this movie does.
Yeah, right?
Shit.
A killer known as Ghostface begins killing off teenagers, and as the body count begins rising, one girl and her friends find themselves contemplating the rules of horror films as they find themselves living in a real-life one. This is directed by Wes Craven, the guy who directed the first Nightmare on Elm Street, Hills Have Eyes, and some other stuff. The writer was Kevin Williamson. That name will come up a lot. The stars of the movie: Drew Barrymore is the main star of the movie. Roger Jackson.
I'm laughing at the Kevin Williamson thing. That was the funniest fucking thing. Every time we're like, who wrote that, Alex? It's like Kevin Williamson.
Roger Jackson is the voice. Hello,
that motherfucker.
Hello, Sydney.
What's that? Oh, no.
Oh, God. Kevin Patrick Walls is Steve. I don't even know who that is.
Stephen Orth.
I don't know.
The boyfriend, Casey's boyfriend.
Why is he on the top of the list here?
That's a good question. Maybe they do it in order of appearance.
Cast overview first, build only? I don't know.
All right, well, yeah, I got nothing then.
David Booth, Casey's father. Okay, can we get to real people? Nev Campbell, Sydney. Here we go. Skeet Ulrich.
Skeet.
I'm gonna skeet all over this bitch. Is Billy. Courtney Cox is Gail Weathers, a news reporter. Okay. Oh, Rose McGowan is Tatum. I'm looking for more notable names. David Arquette is Deputy Dewey. Believe it or not, that's his real name. Matthew Lillard is Stewart. He's the guy from She's All That and that type of stuff. Now Scooby-Doo and all that crap. He sold out.
Salt Lake City Punk. He's good in that.
Yeah, he sold out, man. You know, I always wondered, how
did he?
Is Skeet Ulrich in one of the biggest, most successful horror movies on Earth, and he's never been in another thing since then?
He has.
Let's see.
He's been in other stuff.
Okay, he's known for As Good as It Gets, Jericho, The Craft, and we know that he's not really known for The Craft.
The Craft. Would you even want to put The Craft in the mix, like, of your highlighted film?
Hey, The Craft is awesome.
Oh, sorry.
But not for him.
Oops. I mean, The Craft rocks. Sorry.
He disappeared. I don't even understand what's going on.
I don't know either, yeah. That happens a lot, though. I don't know.
Let's face it, he's a poor man's Johnny Depp. I mean, that's what he is.
Yes.
So...
He's like the Equate brand Johnny Depp.
Right.
For all you Walmart shoppers out there.
I thought he was good on Jericho.
Holy shit! Jamie, I just bought Equate today.
What? Uh-oh.
I never heard of Equate in my entire life. I today had to go get foot powder because my feet have been very humid lately.
Thanks for that, Alex.
Oh, Dan, you talk about your man tits. He can talk about his.
Yeah, exactly. Really. So, my feet have been really, like, damp. My socks and stuff. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So, I went to get Gold Bond powder, and I noticed it didn't say nothing about drying your foot out. So, I looked around, and then this Equate thing said for like, moist feet or something. I don't know.
You ever put Gold Bond on your balls?
No, that can give you cancer, I heard, if you put talcum on your balls.
And it gets all tingly.
Well, then I might try it.
Like if a girl was sucking your dick and she had an Altoid in her mouth.
Dude, you're telling me putting Gold Bond on my balls is like getting a blowjob?
That's exactly what I meant.
All those single guys out there, you heard it from Dan Chase. This movie, you know, when they cast it, they went big time. I mean, Neve Campbell was a star of Party of Five, which was a pretty big show. It was like the counterpart of 90210. It wasn't as...
I actually watched it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, did you? No?
I tried to watch like 3 or 4 episodes, and I just didn't click. Who else was famous? Courtney Cox was on, I don't know what...
Friends.
Yeah, Friends.
Yeah.
David Arquette, I don't know what he was on, but I know he's famous.
Well, he's one of the Arquettes, for one. He's just a part of that family, but he's been on things here and there. He's been in movies and stuff before.
Right. And like I said, they just couldn't afford Johnny Depp, so they got Skeet. Yeah. So the movie starts off in, we won't, walk through, but just let's talk about, obviously, the intro, the first 12 minutes. Drew Barrymore, when you guys went to the theater...
Oh, fuck.
I don't think the word of mouth got out too quickly. You had no idea she wasn't gonna... Like, honestly, man, this was so long ago. I don't remember what I thought about her dying in the beginning. Do you remember, Jamie?
I do. This was actually a very fun theater experience for me because at the time I did not have cable, so I had no idea. I never saw trailers for anything, and I relied on this friend of mine who worked at a movie theater to let me know when something cool was coming. So she was the reason that I ended up seeing From Dusk Till Dawn. And you know that story. Like, I had no idea what it was about, and I go and watch it, and okay. So she contacts me, and she's like, there's this movie, Scream. It's a slasher flick. You got to come see it. And I was like, okay. I knew nothing about it. I didn't even know Drew Barrymore was in it. Like, I knew nothing. So we get there, and suddenly Drew Barrymore is on screen, and I was like, what is fucking Drew Barrymore? What's she doing in a slasher film? Because that's something you just didn't see. You didn't see famous people, like really legit A-listers doing stuff like this, like doing horror films. And so
was she A-list, though? Seriously?
At one point she was.
Not at this point, though.
Maybe not at this point. But she was still, I don't know, her name, I think, will always carry a certain amount of weight.
It will, but I was surprised she even got work, honestly.
So I was like, what the fuck is Drew Barrymore? So I'm all into it. Like, I am into this. And she gets killed. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? I'm like, I was so... just floored from that because the fact that she was in it is one thing. The fact that she got taken out in like 5 minutes was completely. I didn't even know. I was like, you couldn't even. I had no reaction for that. And then, so that was super fun. I loved this experience so much that I immediately went back and saw it again. I grabbed a couple of friends of mine.
Dude, I did that too.
I said, got to come see this movie.
Yep.
So, yeah, it was totally shocking. To me, it was just surprising to see her there at all. But when they took her out, I thought that was incredible. That was a huge move, a really bold move in a film like this. And I thought it obviously worked.
Besides that, Jamie, was that opening sequence scary to you? Like, did
this whole movie was scary to me.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the first time I watched this, I was like, not only did I love the hell out of this movie, it's cleverly written, it's charming, it's like hip, at the time, and there are all these people that you actually recognize in it. This was just, the whole thing just blew me away. But it actually was scary. I was so into it. I had not seen anything like that in a theater I couldn't even tell you how long it had been. It was just wow. It came out of nowhere.
Well, even year-wise, we've already done this, so I don't want to go too much into it, but even like what was going on in horror in the 90s was just absolute garbage. The only halfway decent things, and I don't even know if they came before or after, I should have probably looked it up, but like The Faculty and stuff like that was good, and that was around this time. I just can't remember if it was before.
Most of those films were basically a response to, or came about because of the positive response that Scream got. It reawakened horror in the theater, and teenagers were going to see horror films again. You know, I wasn't a teenager anymore at the time, but young people were once again spending their weekends going to horror films. That was huge. I mean, because up until that point, we had things like, the fancy ones who didn't use the H word because, like Seven or Silence of the Lambs. It's like you can't call them horror. They're thrillers because horror is a bad word.
Well, horror, it became bad because it really wasn't very creative. Even if you think about it, yeah, the 80s was booming for horror, but let's face it wasn't exactly creative past 1985, I'll say. Like, from there on in, it was all regurgitations of the creativity that came around from 1978 and on. It wasn't really booming like we all think.
There was a ton of them, but they were all shit. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Almost all shit. So it's funny that we consider the 80s to be this grand, decade of horror. Yeah, a lot came from it, and there are a lot of good ones in it, yes. But there's a lot of shit in there, too. And the only difference was that low-budget shit was better than the low-budget shit of today, because now anybody with like a $400 HD camera and a broomstick with a mic taped to the end of it is making a movie. So obviously now there's a lot more shit, and it just more people are doing it. There's more shit, and they're not as talented as because they were, even though they were shit movies, those 80s ones like the Prowler and stuff like that. They have good things to it, and they're made more well than the shit of today. That's why people confuse that for being better. And you had more talented people doing the effects too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it just seemed like it got played out where that idea was regurgitated so much to where people were done with it and they didn't know what the next thing was early in the 90s. Like they had a couple good, we talked about the couple good ones in the early 90s or whatever, and there are some. But compared to the 80s, coming off the 80s, and then you look at the 70s, all those movies, you look at the whole thing, and it just doesn't compare. So that's why when Scream came in, it defined shit, dude. Is what it did.
It changed everything.
It did.
Well, plus we have a film here who not only, the slasher at this point was pretty much dead as far as big money makers goes. Right now we have not only a really
Do you think
solid,
it needed to be dead though, Jamie? Do you think it needed to be dead?
I think it needed something. I think I will always love slashers, and I will always want them to be around. But it got to a point where it was just rehashing and rehashing and rehashing. We all saw what happened with the Halloween series. That was regrettable.
Hey, that was 96. Hey, that was just as good as Scream. And how about Jason Goes to Hell?
Not only a solid slasher on its own, but we have a film who then turns around and points the finger at the very thing that it is, and that's something that. And it's not a spoof.
No.
It wasn't like calling up these things to make fun of them. It was calling them up to make you remember what you loved about slashers to begin with. And it's like, yeah, remember that. Remember how if you're a virgin, you're going to live till the end. Well, here that is. But it's not like, we've had spoofs before this who pointed the finger and made fun of slasher films. But this time they were pointing the finger, but they were doing it reverently, and it was it just reawakened the joy that you get from going to see it. I remember after this came out, there were for months and months and months it was in the theater. Kids were going and like quoting along with the screen. It was like friggin' Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Right.
And I had never experienced anything like that except for with Rocky Horror Picture Show.
There you go.
Yeah, how about this? What do you think of this, crazy, healthy dichotomy? Or do you think it was too much? Here's the thing. As much as they tried to go hip and modern and, fresh and new, they were very old school in a lot of ways. All the references. So in trying to bring something fresh and new, they kept all old school in here, even the little things like the popcorn on the stove. Who even made popcorn like that at that point? This is 96. We all had microwaves by then. We were just throwing it in the microwave. Even that is sort of old school.
Everyone didn't have a cell phone back then. It wasn't
He's like, what are you doing with a cell phone? He's like, everyone has one, sir.
Right. Yeah. And that was just the beginning of that, because before that, if you had a cell phone, you were a drug dealer.
Exactly. Or remember if you had a beeper, you were a drug dealer?
Right. I remember in high school, I had a pager in high school, and this girl actually came up to me and she's like, "You have a pager? What are you, a drug dealer?" And I was like, no. But that was.
What you need?
Yeah. I was like, no, I'm a doctor on the weekends. That's that's why I have it.
Why play one on TV?
It's funny. As new as this movie sort of feels, still, it's funny because
it's
the computer.
So old, I know.
Yeah, the computer she's on, it's just a black screen, and that's one thing that I thought was really weird. Like, who calls the 911 on I don't know how to do that today if I wanted to call 911 on my computer. And if the guy cut her phone line, back then we were all going on the internet through our phone lines. How did that still work if her phone line didn't work?
Well, see, that's a good question too. And I remember thinking I had no idea about internet in 1996. I knew it existed,
right?
And I knew that, but I didn't have any practical knowledge of it. So to me, that was I was like, ooh, look at them with the internet,
Yeah, but the thing about that scene though, that's cool is how you quickly learn that this is a whodunit. When Billy comes in the window, it kind of sets everything up where it's just like, dude, well, you just came in the window. Like, is that a coincidence? So already the wheels are fucking turning. You know what I mean? You're already like, okay. Is it it basically set the rules right in that very scene where she fucking called the cops and they came and he pops in the window. You know what I mean? So that's a big part in Scream, I think, because it kind of, like I said, sets the tone of what this movie's going to be. And I think the reason why we think it's not as old as it really is because all the fucking movies that have came after it are kind of defined by that. So I think, we think of it in terms like that, like, oh yeah, it's not that old, because it's such a fucking awesome movie that it spawned so many movies after that. I tend to think of.
And for our generation, it was the first shift in horror of something fresh and new, so, that we could really remember.
The thing, exactly. Like, we're all different ages, dude. For me personally, I started with the Friday the 13th shit, a little bit of Freddy Krueger, I think, and then, because I remember renting every single fucking Friday the 13th, and that's where I was at. I reached the end. I think at that point it was 9, right? 8 or 9, whatever.
9 was 93.
Okay. Yeah. So I've seen the whole fucking thing play out ending in 9. So, that's how I started in horror as a little fucking kid. And then right from there, I think I was, oh God, so this is 96, so I was fucking, I think I've said this before.
You were 8 years old.
8, 9, something like that, yeah.
Well, dude, they closed the book on that chapter of horror by playing it on their TVs and talking about it and doing quizzes about it. That not only, it's not just a movie that refreshed it, they actually referenced it to the point where that is not real. You're watching movies then, and this is real life, and it's just like a whole.
Another brilliant thing about Scream, and I know I'm gonna say it very plainly and bluntly, but it's a fucking scary movie about people that love scary movies. I mean, come on, talk about playing to your fucking audience.
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
And they know Wes Craven said, all right, these motherfuckers show up in conventions all the time. These crazy motherfuckers are hardcore fans, and he played to that. So the rewatchability for this, dude, I rewatched this fucking movie for the show. I've tried to calculate how many times I see this movie. It's probably once every 2 months or so.
It's impossible to calculate how many times I've seen this film.
Dude,
I've seen it maybe 10 times.
This is my favorite fucking movie.
The year this came out, right after it came out on VHS and DVD, everyone I know got this movie for Christmas. My mom got this movie for Christmas because I gave it to her. But all of my friends, everyone I know, even if they weren't hardcore horror fans, people were loving this movie. And everywhere, I remember I went home for Christmas that year because I was here in Athens. So I went home to Atlanta for Christmas that year. And as I'm making my rounds to all my friends' houses, what are we doing? We're watching fucking Scream because everybody got it on VHS. And
dude, I got it Christmas Eve, Jamie. Boom, right there.
So so it was super popular. Everyone was loving it. I watched it probably 10 times around Christmas time alone, just because everyone wanted to watch this movie. That was just how much of a of an impact it had.
My lifetime's worth amount of time seeing it. You saw that in the span of 2 weeks?
Yeah, I would say easily. And it, well, not even 2 weeks, because I didn't go, I mean, I had a job. I wasn't home for that long. But it's like, my mom got to a point where she watched it every day. I mean,
What?
she just loved the shit out of this movie. For probably, I'd say a couple weeks, she watched it every single day. And then after that, it was just like all the time. It had become like her favorite thing.
Wow. What did you guys think of the sequels? You were in heaven, I guess, when those came out.
No, not really. No.
You were like, yes, we get to watch the same thing, but expanded on.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that.
but-
We have the sequel discussion.
Yeah, well, we had the sequel discussion, but let's keep in mind Scream 2 was like right after Scream 1 hit.
Right after.
Like, it was, like, talk about fucking smart, like, yo, let's fucking get these motherfuckers, let's put 2 on them. But yeah.
Strike while it's hot. Strike while it's hot.
Yeah, you might as well, dude. Fuck it.
Yep. And it's funny, like, this changed horror so much, and it also changed real life. Like, after this movie, caller IDs, like, went skyrocketed. Yeah. You know, like, everybody had to have a caller ID at this point. So, you know, so we'll get just some overall things, like, the Mask was obviously based on the painting Scream. The movie was, you know, like they have working titles for movies. The working title for this was actually Scary Movie, and that's why they took that when they made the Scary Movie.
Yep.
You know, like Psycho and Texas Chainsaw was based on Ed Gein. This movie was actually based on a real guy in Florida named the Gainesville Ripper.
Mm-hmm.
So someone actually did this stuff.
Kind of.
And one weird thing is that during like production, when they always go through what the guy's going to look like, the killer and stuff. They originally wanted this guy, the killer, to wear all white so he would actually resemble an actual ghost. But then they were like afraid that people would think it looked too much like a Ku Klux Klan member. So they actually made it like black with the sparkles in it. Yeah.
Which is scary on a whole other level.
Right?
Yeah. Some funny things about castings. We talked about, like, people like the boyfriend. Supposedly the guy who played the boyfriend in the opening scene of Drew Barrymore, Kevin Walls, he actually went for the role of Billy. Right. And can you imagine, like, instead of getting the lead role in the biggest horror film in the world, you're taped to a fucking chair, and your big, input to the movie is like moving your head. No. Like, holy fuck, what a disaster that was.
I would have liked that though, because I thought he was so cute. I would have loved to have seen him in the lead role. I was not a Skeet fan, and I don't know, that emo brooding guy, just, I don't know, like Dylan from 90210. I've never been in. I don't like that guy. You know, I was just as far as 90210 was concerned, I had a thing for Steve. Like, he was the one that
my girlfriend does too.
Let's
talk about Brandon for a little bit before we move back to Scream.
Brandon was a pussy.
When Brandon was dating that girl Emily from Child's Play 2, no, I'm just kidding.
Crazy. She's crazy.
But
I would have loved to have seen him take the lead role. I think that would have been awesome because he was cute as hell. But I guess maybe he didn't. I don't know. Maybe he didn't have the chops. Maybe that's why they taped him to a chair and taped his mouth shut. Like,
well, that's very true.
So shut the fuck up.
Well, Joaquin Phoenix was he turned down the role of Billy Loomis. Can you imagine if Joaquin Phoenix? I mean, this would have been a whole different movie, man.
Swing away, Billy. Swing away.
Rebecca Gayheart auditioned to play Tatum, which would have been a billion times better, but she had to go shoot Somebody Is Waiting. Yeah, she don't regret that.
Yeah, good move, sweetheart.
Yeah, there you go. And Molly Ringwald is, Kevin Williamson's a big fan of her, so he wanted her to play Sydney, and she turned it down because she didn't want to play a high school student at 27 years old.
Thank God they didn't do. I can't imagine Molly Ringwald after.
Oh, God.
Oh, can you imagine how much of a disaster this movie would be if they did that?
You know what, around that time, have you seen Molly Ringwald in movies around that time? She had this crazy eye thing going on where she would just, like, stare, like, open. I mean, I can't do it, obviously, because it's an audio thing. But right now I'm doing my impression. You just don't know it. But
fuck him.
I saw it, Jamie. I saw it.
It's we're all looking at each other. We're actually doing this show from the high school in Woodsboro. And what Jamie's doing is, if you could see the white around the color of your eyes, if you could see the white on all completely around it, that means you're crazy.
Yeah, she had crazy eyes. That's exactly what it was. I cannot picture her in this role at all.
Exactly.
Not at all.
Remember Crazy Eyes with the mailman? He was trying to put a voodoo curse on me. Really? Or maybe he was just waving.
Stupid. Well, okay, let's not leave the opening scene first and get one what the F moment in there. It is kind of weird. The only thing this movie fails on, really, is the timing believability. It just doesn't work a lot. And the biggest one right off the bat is, he says your boyfriend Steve, he's not going to make it because you didn't know that Jason was not the killer in Friday the 13th. And they show him, they turn the lights off, show the boyfriend. I don't know if 2 seconds goes by, you hear, and then all of a sudden she looks, 2 seconds, she looks, and he's completely gutted out. His entire stomach is laying in a puddle in front of him. You could never, ever have a guy completely normal and be completely gutted in 2 seconds. Even the greatest fisherman in the world couldn't do that.
And the guy's not even, and there's no one around him.
There's nobody around.
There's no one around. And so you're like, well, what did he do that for long distance? How the hell did he do that?
You couldn't stab him in the shoulder and run away without somebody seeing you.
Right? Yeah, right?
Try carving him out and in that time.
Oh, that's another thing, too, though. I remember when she was answering the questions, and he's like, who was the killer on Friday the 13th? And she's like, Jason Voorhees, or Jason. And I was sitting in the theater, and I was like, no, that's wrong. And so then, and I was starting to get pissed. Because at that before it continued and you realized that she actually did get the question wrong, I was going to get pissed if they left it that. But then they're like, "No, that's wrong. I'm sorry." And I'm like, "Yes!" And right there, that is where this film touched me like in a very deep place because they're like, this is a movie for horror fans.
Exactly.
Right there, dude. And I was like, I fucking love this movie. So sorry, continue.
And just one more, what the F, and it's just weird. I always felt this right off the bat. This isn't just for the show. When Drew Barrymore is running away and the ghost face is running after her, and then he grabs her by the shoulder or something and then stabs her in the chest, that is the fucking weakest shit in the world, man. Like, that stab, I know it's slow motion, but you could tell that even if it was real, in real time, he just like kind of puts the knife up to her chest.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I totally know what you mean. And
I know.
I agree with that.
Crazy stupid. And, of course, they do a Halloween reference to go, I want you to go across the street to the Mackenzies and tell them something. Call the police. And,
do you
that's
think
another one, too, when I was like,
cool reference,
I know my friend got on her fucking nerves when we were watching this movie because I was like, that's from Halloween.
Oh, you're one of those people?
Damn movie, I was doing that. Because she wasn't like, a big horror fan. Like, she knew, like, she watched horror movies, but she didn't watch horror movies, Right. So every time there was like a big reference, I'm just like, oh, that's from so and so, and oh, that's hilarious because that's from so and so, and she was probably just like, shut the fuck up.
And then Halloween H2O does it back to fucking Scream. I was talking about in H2O when she says drive down to the Beckers, like they throw.
Oh
it back
yeah,
to
right.
Scream. That's what I'm talking about. Like it's just so fucking. It's almost fucking too meta. That's right. We're gonna use that fucking word a lot.
Oh, we didn't say that word yet. Shit.
I almost did earlier, but I refrained.
I don't even know what the word means. What does it mean besides, like, there has to be another word.
Self-referential? We'll just say that.
The word meta, M-E-T-A, is in the dictionary, and it says self-referential?
I don't know, Do you think I look at the dictionary? Do I strike?
I mean, if you look it up, that's basically what it tells you that it's.
I would assume.
Like
I don't
know. It's self-aware, self-referential,
Meta. Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly don't know the impetus of that word. So if anybody out there knows where it originally came from, that would be awesome. But I don't know that. But that is.
It probably means origin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Jamie, dumb it down. Dumb it down.
Come on now.
Come on.
We're at a 2, you're at a 7. Bring it down.
I don't know where it came from.
Well, I don't know where this Duns comes from. Idiots. So, just two quick notes before we get out of this scene. Amazing part when she goes to pick up the phone after the doorbell rings to call the police, and it rings. It's like fucking brilliant. And then,
and dude, and another what the fuck is, why doesn't she throw the fucking phone? I'm sorry, dude, when I was 9 years old, I was like, throw the fucking phone!
Throw it? What do you mean?
No, when she fucking, dude, Ghostface is right behind her just before he kills her, and her parents are walking in the door. She can see him. She has the fucking phone in her hand. Even if you can't, even if it's not...
Yeah, get their attention.
Yeah, like, boom, throw the fucking phone against the house. Bah, bah, bah. Oh, shit, fucking Ghostface.
She did not. That bothers me to this day. She did not try hard enough to get their attention.
No.
And if someone is fucking killing you, you're going to be doing everything you can.
She has no will to survive.
Yeah.
And the other great little touch is having the mom listen to her daughter die on the phone.
That was nice.
Awesome. Hanging from the tree, that looked cool. Oddly enough, though, when they zoomed in on her, it didn't look like her. I'm sure
it looked like Drew Barrymore from E.T.
It just looked weird.
Didn't it?
Yeah, it looked weird.
It looked like a baby Drew Barrymore. Like, this is a fake Drew Barrymore doll.
Exactly. It looked weird. I don't see why they couldn't have her in a harness.
But see, to me, even though I saw that, like, my heart was fucking racing at that point, dude. Like, that whole scene builds up to that very fucking, close up. But holy shit, is that... I mean, I know we're kind of, glancing over a lot of things in this movie. Well, we will, but...
Glancing over? We're still in the first 12 minutes.
I know, that's what I want to say, though. Is this not one of the best fucking scenes? I just don't want to make sure we don't, but is this not one of the best fucking opening scenes in a horror movie?
Almost ever.
It is, dude, and it's so well written, so well done.
Acted. I mean, it's strong because the actors are strong,
right?
And that's something too that you'd gotten used to not seeing in slasher films in later years. Is that it was just like, yeah, whatever. But I mean, these are quality people who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I'll attribute the to the writing too, because that banter that they have back and forth. I mean, boom, boom, back, forth, and then it gets scary, and then it gets oh shit, fucking, he can see her. Oh shit, and it just keeps getting worse. And
perfect progression, really, almost perfect. That is some of the finest writing in any horror movie ever.
Yep.
The meta thing goes so far because in this one, they put so much stock in the media presence in this movie, and that is also to make this more realistic because, the glaring omission in most horror movies is they're in this little world. They're like, what's it called? Like, they're always confined to this universe that they're experiencing. And in this movie, the whole world is an audience to what's going on. Like, the news reporters are there for every kill. Who's next? This happened to you, blah, blah. And it really brings the realism.
Yeah.
In a weird way. So, what do you think about Fonzie as the principal, man?
Hey,
yo, I became a principal so I could still hit on high school chicks. Hey!
I should have been in 3, because 3 jumped the shark. Get it? Hey!
Oh, shit!
That is hilarious.
That's good, Dan.
That's very good.
Thank you. I thought he was great in it, though. I thought he was perfect. I mean, everybody knew who fucking Fonzie is, dude. But I think, though, he played it really well, too. I mean, it's a whodunit, so we looked at him and, attention now, kids. Like, what the fuck, dude? That scared the shit out of me.
What did he say?
When he's talking over the fucking loudspeaker. Due to the recent events, when he's fucking talking, school has been canceled, whatever the fuck
he talks
says.
like that? Wow,
yeah, like it's very scary the way he comes over the loudspeaker the first time. And then, he talks that way, to the kids too when he's fucking...
Look, you little shits!
Yeah, but I thought that, if you're gonna have a principal in a fucking slasher movie,
it's got to be Fonzie. Yeah.
Well, not only that,
Just kidding.
You're absolutely right though. You got to get somebody good, and I think he was good in it. So yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny. This is, like you said, it's a whodunit movie, and it's funny. I don't know if you guys, because with this movie and movies I watch for the first time, things are very vague to me. That's why it's not a good idea for me to be on like a Saw retrospective. But whatever. But Dave and Matt are there, so we're good. But it's. My problem is that when I watch something for the first time, I don't exactly take in everything I should a lot.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Back in these days, I just watched the movie and did whatever.
I understand.
Yeah, for the first 2 rewatches, do you know I didn't know who the killer was? Like, I really didn't remember.
Really?
Like, I remember watching it,
up.
and I was like, wow, this is fun, because I really don't remember. I know it might be one of these 2 guys, I think. Mm-hmm. Isn't that strange? I just didn't remember.
That is very strange, dude. Yeah. Because to me, the end scene is fucking memorable and fucked up and shocking. So.
But you know what? I was resistant to this movie when it first came out, because I was one of those guys who were like,
80s, man.
Yeah, 80s. I don't like this new stuff. This is all like that blah 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 blah. You know, and I was resistant, and that's why my mind didn't absorb either.
This is all that what?
It's they're just trying to be cool, and this isn't like the real stuff. Come on, where's Jason, man? You know, that stuff. So Cindy's mom was raped and murdered 1 year ago, and here's the other what the F. So with that alone, like if you want to do some grand like murder and grand finale, and it's a great idea to kill her on the 1 year anniversary of killing her mom. So what's with the attempts to kill her 2 days before that, and then an attempt again the day after that? Like, why would you do that? Why would you mess up the whole anniversary thing? You're obviously into this whole theme and movie type thing and making it like this, and
maybe he had to go back to fucking Roman for more fucking tips. Oh, that pisses me off when I watch this movie, though. Thinking Roman fucking told him to do it. Oh, hey guy, go out there. Maybe he was fucking helping him the whole time.
I don't even remember that.
That pisses me off. The fucking douchebag from fucking Scream 3.
No, I know. I don't remember the actual reference to what he said happened in this movie. So.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Jamie, did you go ahead and watch All the Right Moves when Tatum said that you could pause it and see Tom Cruise's penis?
No, I did not.
No?
No.
I
was never a big Tom Cruise fan back then.
Yeah, I don't know. I admit it, last night I looked it up, and I did look at his penis.
I had seen the film, but I did not go back and look to see if I could stare at his penis. I did not.
Yeah, I did.
Can you?
Can I do what?
Can you see his penis?
Oh. I thought you were going to say, like, so can you switch over for him?
No, I mean, when you went back to look, couldn't you actually see his penis?
Yeah,
I never
you can.
checked.
It's sort of. I think he should have chubbed up a little, like slapped it around a little bit before they shot that scene. That's what I would have done.
They should have called it a fluffer.
A fluffer. A fluffer nutter.
So, what do you guys think of the first? Sydney gets her first call from the guy, the Scream guy. She thinks it's Randy.
This movie established a fucking big thing, which was all bets are off. Like. We could fucking kill everybody. You know, this thing could be Reservoir Dogs before this thing's over. Sorry, I had to.
Oh, you know what? Here's a different aspect to this movie. How many other slashers, let's even go back to the 80s, make it so that the main girl is already prime target shit, like, right off the bat? Like, Ginny and Al, like, they don't get attacked. Somehow the final girls seem to be attacked last.
Yep.
In this movie, that shit don't go down like that. Like, that's really interesting.
And you are right about the timeline too. If it was supposed to be on the anniversary or whatever, then why? And I got that too. You're absolutely right. Which it doesn't make any sense, but
no.
Whatever. Who cares? Maybe they knew she was going to survive. No, but that first attack was almost equally as creepy. Not as good as the opening scene, but it was just as creepy, dude. I see. The thing is with that is they conveyed the mood from when she's talking to Tatum on the phone and it's fucking light out and she takes a nap. See, for me, dude, when I do that and you wake up, sometimes it's not that you don't know where you are, but you ever wake up.
I don't know what day it is.
Yeah, like exactly. You know how you feel that way sometimes and you get creeped out for a minute? Like, I don't.
You want to hear the funniest story, man? I swear this is real. I actually went home one day from work around 3:30. I was so fucking tired. Mm-hmm. I just went home, laid on the bed, and woke up feeling like completely refreshed in a way.
Yeah.
I looked at the clock and it said 6:47. I was like, holy shit, after being work in 10 minutes, I drove to work and said, fuck, it's really bright out. Like, is it daylight savings time? Then got there and it was still the same day 3 hours ago I left work.
Okay, I've done shit like that, but not to that extent. I've never gotten.
Me too, Jamie. Yep.
I thought I was late and I was running out the door and my roommate was watching TV and he's like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "I'm going to work." And he's like, "You don't have to be to work for like 3 hours." And I was like,
Yeah.
"I'm going to bed." And so I have taken a nap and then woken up and I called my roommate and then I'm like, "Jen," and she comes running in. I'm like, "AM or PM?" And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "AM or PM?" She's like, "PM." And I was like, "Okay." So then I went back to sleep. Because it was like 7 something, and so it was like it could be twilight, it could be dawn, it could, it was just one of those iffy times, and it'll fuck you up though.
So when Billy like pretty much meant to be arrested, and so you're saying that the guy who's really killing was willing to get arrested, get fully investigated, just to reinforce the idea that he was not the killer?
Yes. Do you not buy that?
Doesn't it seem like it would be easier to just say, "No, I'm not the killer. Sid, I was with you the whole time," and having the other guy just kill somebody at that same time? Or even have Sidney see the Ghostface guy while you're with him?
Well, I understand. I know exactly what you're talking about, but no, I thought it was actually a good idea on his part because, clearly that's what he's going for. Like you said, is to take the eyes off of him. But, this is a movie, too, and we're watching, and we're a smart audience, so they want to throw you that red herring. And a lot of the times, though, they do go that route where the guy that they do look at in the beginning, he ends up, they missed it or whatever.
Yeah, right.
So it's not that original. It's not that original, but it is cool in a sense because it's very. It was Billy basically seeing how much the cops, not how much they know, but basically fucking with them a little bit.
Yeah, he was playing the game to its fullest extent.
Exactly, and the fact of the matter is. They wanted to get away with this, yes, but they are fucking psychopaths, dude. You got to keep that in mind too, So the police have always been an instrumental part in the whole game and with slasher movies for the most part. I say
Plus,
that.
it was for us too.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's the most important thing. Is it was plot.
Right. Right.
Yeah, because in real life, if you were doing this with a friend, you wouldn't want the police anywhere near you.
But the thing is, Alex, you're right, though. But the thing is, with this movie, every scene is meant to make Billy look creepy and, like you said, brooding. But he's meant to look sketchy. Do you know what I mean? Like, he is set up to be that guy. Therefore, we, the audience, are like, "Oh, you think I'm fucking dumb, motherfucker? It ain't that guy. You're trying to tell me it's that guy? Get out of here with that shit." And that's what's smart about it, too, where they reveal it at the end. It's like, you motherfuckers, you got me. You know?
But see, here's the thing that doesn't make sense about it.
Yeah.
He went to kill Sidney, and there's no way he knew he'd get some weak-ass leg sweep that actually somehow took him off his feet. He didn't know that would happen. He didn't know she'd get away. Yet, he immediately has this whole plot worked out that he would be picked up by the police, thought to be the killer, and then have this other guy call her. Like, it's just impossible. It's almost like Jigsaw who plans a bunch of shit out. Like, you couldn't possibly.
Well, you know what, though? How do you know he planned it, even? He could have been
dropping his phone, popping in her window. Like, why would you even be near her house?
Well, I'm saying, though, what if he was trying to get away and he was like, "Oh, fuck cops," and then he just kind of slithered his way back in? There's that possibility.
Do you think he deliberately dropped a cell phone?
No. Oh, absolutely not. I think it fell out of his thing. If he was just ghost facing it up, it's probably fucking.
Then we're switching everything. He didn't play anybody. He just messed up.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. There are those both possibilities. I like to think that, yeah, he meant to, because it's, like Jamie said, it's more for us, the audience, but these people in this movie are basically pointing the finger at each other a lot, like, "Are you the killer? Are you the killer?" So this is the game I was talking about that they play in this movie, and the whole meta thing comes into play where these characters know exactly where the fuck they're at, so they're sitting there questioning each other, and we're questioning it at the same time as an audience member, so by putting everything on Billy or whatever, you can interpret it as, it was a fuck up on his part, or it was basically assuring us that it wasn't him by saying, I got fingerprinted, it's not me.
Yeah, maybe this is one of those moments where you have to excuse sort of logic and appreciate plot point, like Jamie said. Like, It's just not feasible on any level.
You wonder why he would do that, though. Like, he is a psychopath, but why would he push it? Because this isn't Mickey in part 2 saying, I want the fame. These guys wanted to get away with it. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yes, they did.
That's the whole fucking thing. Yeah, so
and he couldn't have known Sydney would survive. I mean, it just doesn't make... And, so listen, if she survives, I want to get caught... And then I want you to call her while I'm in jail, and then I'll take the heat off of me. And it's like, well...
Yeah. I understand. I understand where you're coming from. I'm not going to justify it, but I kind of go with it. It's one of the... I understand your point, though. You're absolutely right.
You know, I just want to ask one thing. Here's something that really, and this isn't about the movie itself, but this bothers the shit out of me, man, because it's just what people look like, I guess. What the fuck is Tatum wearing in this movie? Like, who is her stylist? Like,
the silver shirt,
blonde hair, pale skin, pink plaid skirt, green sweater that's a turtleneck, dark blue denim jacket over it, and white shoes. Like, what the fuck is she supposed to...
Well, you know what's funny? At the time when she's got that little outfit on with the crop top and like the yoga pants or whatever, you know, with her hair in pigtails.
Yeah.
I thought that was super cute.
That was all right.
And then the night of the party, she's wearing... I was looking at that skirt, and I was like, what in the fuck? But the thing is, like, in the 90s, like, around that time, there was, like, a resurgence of the 60s. So, like, the white shoes kind of make sense because, like, old go-go boots thing. Right. The colors of the skirt kind of make sense because, like, tie-dye was really big. But I recall not liking it very much even back then.
It didn't, Jamie, but it didn't mix well. Like, it didn't look right. It's so out of place on every level. And the only reason because we all know she has black hair, the only reason she dyed her hair blonde is to contrast from Neve Campbell. That, like, she, you know, but look, when you got pale skin like that, honey, blonde doesn't always work. You don't have the face for it. And I
thought she was more of a redhead. Like a pale redhead. You know, like a... I don't know, like a strawberry blonde, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we talked about Gail getting punched. Right before that, you know, as Dan mentioned when we interviewed Linda Blair, she makes her cameo. The people have a right to know.
Wish we had that interview right here.
Now, I want to flash forward a few years to 1996, actually, and one of my favorite movies. What would you say? Pretty much my favorite movie, period, huh, Alex?
Scream.
Yeah, Scream is my favorite movie, and I feel like all the stars aligned for that movie. There was just so many layers to it, and I feel like you were definitely a part of that, too, with your cameo. It's like, you know, getting you to do that cameo, it just put everything into perspective. When Scream came out, you know, its relevance on the genre, and just having you in there, I felt like you were just another star that aligned with that perfect movie. So
you're very, very funny. It was all my friends were up on the set, and they asked Wes Craven, they're like, and why isn't Linda Blair in it?
Right?
And he goes, 'cause I forgot. So he called me and said, I don't have anything left. Would you come up and play with us for a day? And I'm like, yeah, that was it. I didn't take a screen credit on purpose. I did it just to mess with people.
Right. I noticed that, too. Oh, and I went crazy when I saw it.
But then if you get to know me, you'll know that's my nature.
Wow, Dan, that was awesome. I think the stars were aligned, actually.
They were. Exactly.
I love Gail's character here because she's on Top Story, which is like basically their version of like a current affair, which was like the big thing back then with Maury Povich and all those people. And they were like, you know, here's some real crime and we're going to tell you about it. And it was all sensationalism but it was just tabloid TV. But I like the fact that it's like it goes back earlier to when you were saying they were making it like real life, you know, because that's really what people were watching.
Yep, definitely. They get more into the whole plot idea that Sydney's mom is a whore and she was flashing her shit all over town. And so apparently what's weird about
Sharon Stone.
Yeah. And this movie is just chock full of references, man. Like every reference you could imagine is in this movie. Like even when he says, Houston, we have a problem. Like every pop culture. It's so weird.
I love how she goes in the first one, too. She's like, who would play me? I see usually young Meg Ryan myself. Yeah, with my luck, dude, I'd get stuck with Tori Spelling. And then in the fucking second one, it's Tori Spelling playing her in the movie. I mean, I even stuff like that, where whether it was planned or not, dude, shit like that just makes me die. I'm like, yes, that's fucking awesome.
And then Tori Spelling is in Scary Movie 2.
Yeah, Scream 2.
No, Scary Movie 2.
Right. Oh, yeah, she's in that too, yeah.
With Claire from 90210. So that's pretty funny. They got both those girls in there.
And Tim Curry's in that. Your boy.
Yeah, what is he?
Scary Movie 2. He's the fucking host.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know. I don't really watch that movie that often, even though I like most of those movies. But the kids running down the halls with a Scream mask, is that something you would have done? Like, would you make light of a situation like this, even if it was real?
No.
No?
No, I wouldn't. But I like the whole aspect too of the whole town fucking loves it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's that whole thing where, yeah, it's fucked up in real life, but
it's exciting.
Exactly, and that's why it's fucked up for Sydney, but you can see that her classmates, dude, they don't give a fuck. Hey, they hung principal whatever for the fucking goalpost. Let's go before they pry him down.
Oh, my God.
These kids don't give a fuck about what's going on or why, you know? They just, hey, there's a fucking serial killer in our town. He's wearing a mask. This is awesome, you know?
And what's weird is that kill of Fonzie was an afterthought. He wasn't supposed to die. And they went back and shot that because they went too long without a kill, like 30 pages without a kill or some shit, and the Weinsteins or whatever wanted a kill in there, so they just did that, and then it gave them a reason to clear the house of the party and get rid of all those kids without having to kill 15 kids. So
and you know what I like about that too? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, it's that kid running down the hall. I like how they keep that kid at the party. Like, those two dudes are at the party that night.
Yeah, right.
Like, they're sitting, like, they're taking fucking, they're fucking drinking beers like madmen, and they're fucking watching the movie at the end. Like, they're there that whole night. So I just like those little things where they kind of keep the cast, even like the quote unquote extras. I mean, wouldn't you call it an extra, right? Something like that. Yeah. Not a main role by any means.
Well, on IMDb, they're on the top of the list.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yeah.
Kid in hallway, third guy listed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I just like how they keep it kind of tight-knit like that. Like, they keep everybody there. Like, this is kind of their group of friends type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But, Jamie, here's this. You like references. You like all these, winks. Tell me that the biggest cringing moment of this movie, and this is the point where they just went a little too far, and some people love this, and they're just going to, like, say, what? But the fucking janitor, Wes Craven, in a Freddy costume named Fred.
Oh, my God. It's so funny you should say that, because while you guys were talking about Henry Winkler getting killed, I was actually thinking about how much I loved the fact that the janitor was dressed like Freddy.
How could you love that?
Because, it's really obvious, but it was... I thought it was a fun moment. It was like, oh, look what he did there.
It doesn't take you out of this for a second?
No, it made me love it.
Come on.
See, to me, I got the Freddy Krueger thing, kind of. I didn't know who Wes Craven was at this point. Like, you know how you said back then, Alex, you didn't, perceive everything the way you do now? Same thing there. I was just like, that guy kind of looked... I don't know if the same guy directed it. I never thought like that. But knowing that now, I know what you're saying.
Even if I was cast to do that, just the fact that a guy...
Would you call me?
Yeah, like... Come on. It looked ridiculous. It was just so stupid. Like, what janitor would ever even look like that? Like, there's just nothing about it that is... I don't know, man. Maybe just a Freddy hat would have been fine, and a glove on just one hand of a normal leather glove.
Well, just a hat wouldn't do it. Then it would just be a guy wearing a fedora. He could be an Indiana Jones reference,
No, I said a glove. Well, that could have been a Michael Jackson reference. You're right. Let's see.
I think you're going to find that most horror fans appreciated that.
They do, Jamie.
It was, it's a nice little wink.
I don't mind it at all.
Cringe.
See, the thing is, for me, though, once again, dude, the thing about this fucking movie is it drags you right in. I was so into that scene, dude, and I know it's a comic relief, but it's a comic relief that fucking sets up the next scene where Ghostface attacks. Do you see what I'm saying? So, for me, where it's like, okay, the fucking janitor, oh, shit, he's right there. And then they do the shot in Henry Winkler's eye, dude.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Fucking badass, dude. Like, just everything. And let me say something about this. the fucking pacing of this movie. Now, before we get to the fucking party scene jump, this jump I like too, where it's fucking boom, kill the fucking school's out for the summer.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I
Alice
love
Cooper, man.
That whole fucking jump, dude, is so good. And then they kind of get into, you know, the second half of the movie, really, which is, okay, we're dealing with this now, and then the whole party scene or whatever.
Before, you know, we talked about how, you know, they're getting deeper into Sydney not admitting the fact that her mom's a whore. Then like, it almost takes nothing for her to say, yeah, I guess I do have to admit this, and
Right.
shit like that. The two chicks in the back, like, that one chick was smoking hot, except that her face was a little manly.
Which ones are you talking about?
The hotter girl of the two who were like, oh, suicide is out this year, and whatever.
Oh, blah. All those chicks were on my nerves. The chick with the short hair, I can't even look at her. The chick with the with the blonde hair, which I think is the one you're referring to with the mannish face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think about her now and I get skeeved out. I just like there's something about her that just grosses me out.
Yeah, but do you see her legs? Oh my god. When she walked away.
I think it's probably because when I was watching this movie one time with my mom was like, this is so weird, but my mom was like, she looks like she smells bad.
I think she's
and that
right.
just sort of stuck in my head.
Do you guys think when Ghostface is standing up there in the toilet, probably like Stu or something, he's fucking sitting there listening to him, and he's fucking, what's he doing? Is he taking a shit, or is he listening? Because he's got to think plot wise, right? Like, oh, they're talking, Sydney's over there, and fucking now that all this is perfect. Like, that was just a little, I don't know. Like, you think back to it, and it's like, oh wow, that worked out very well for the killer, didn't it?
So dumb. Like, that's one of those crazy Ralph moments. How long was he in the fucking cupboard before, you know,
Yeah.
thank God Alice went in there to put a pot away. Like, how the fuck could this regular kid, Skeet or the other one, how could they just sit on a toilet bowl? They pick that one bathroom out of the 12 in the fucking school, probably.
Right.
And they just sit there for God knows how long, praying to God that Sydney has to take a piss. And how does he even know? Like, does he peek through and just look in the mirror and see every girl coming in? And thank God those two left and Sid stayed. Like,
Did you ever see Valley Girl with Nicolas Cage and Deborah Foreman? Okay, 1983. There's a scene. Nicolas Cage is from Hollywood, and Deborah Foreman and her friends they live in the Valley. He sees her at the beach. He hears about a party in the Valley, so he and his friend go crash this party. They immediately get kicked out of the party because they don't belong. They're from Hollyweird, and the other guys are from the Valley, so they kick him out. He then crawls up into the second-story window of the bathroom, hides in the shower throughout the entire party, waiting for her to happen to come in and use the bathroom.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Exactly.
And so he can talk to her again. Now, at the time, every time I watch that, I'm like, would you really do that? Like, are you going to go and just hide in the shower and wait for her to come in the bathroom? What if she never has to pee? And then you'll never even know if she leaves. That's just so weird. You know? But it's like the same kind of thing.
what if Sid never went to the bathroom that day? He just would have invested like 6 hours into, like, there's a million places you know she'll be.
Exactly, and stuff like hey Tatum, give me some beer. You know, like clearly setting her up. You know.
Yeah, and who killed Tatum?
Oh, Billy did. Billy did for sure.
Billy Key, yeah, right, because the other guy wouldn't kill his own girlfriend. And actually, it is proven because he was actually at the door letting people leave right after she died.
Exactly.
So Billy had to kill her. Now, here's the weird thing. Like, okay, you guys are killing people, and that's fine. Your motive is, one of them is because your mom fucked my dad, and that's why my mom left me, and that's cool. But why is Stu willing to gut his own girlfriend? That's where he gets sex. Why is he willing to kill her? What does that? How does that move this along or accomplish any goal? Like, why would you kill your own girlfriend?
Oh well, because they wanted to be the survivors of.
But a million other people left the party and didn't die.
No, right, but they have the story to tell. You know what I mean? Like they have they're going to be the ones. They wanted to be the survivors, and you know they would get the fame that way. Not having them do it, but having them get away with it. You know what I mean?
Well,
Maybe he was just really pissed off about her smacking him on the head with a sucker.
That too.
Yeah.
Stupidity leak.
Yeah, it's just really weird. One thing people always talk about is the video store scene with Randy. Now, you got to wonder, how does Randy know so much? Like, they're even talking, what would Billy's motive be? And he's like, well, maybe she's not having sex with him, so he's frustrated and blah, blah. How does Randy know that just because her mom was killed a year ago that she suddenly became celibate? How would he have insight to that kind of information to even ponder that idea? Because they were dating for years. He even said the first 2 years it was hot and heavy. How would he know 3 fucking years into the relationship that she became frigid? It's just so random. It's so weird.
I think he just dug her so much that he could probably, like, I know what you're saying, but I think, like, his guess was pretty right on. Like, I know what you mean, though.
How would you even pick that out of everything, though?
Well, because if he's just obsessed with, I know what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. It's weird. Yeah, so it's a plot point, and he got it exactly right. Yeah. See, okay, these are the scenes that I'm talking about in the middle. Now, that one I truly like. If you've seen the movie before and you know who the fucking killers are.
Yeah, it's cool to watch that exchange.
Yeah. And then, and that whole fucking scene is great in the middle of this movie. Now, there are a couple scenes where, yeah, it further propels the story of Sydney's mom, but I gotta get to it, and it's my biggest gripe with this fucking movie. And I've said it before, and I'll fucking say it again, dude. We're doing the Scream retrospective. What the fuck is Ghostface doing in the goddamn woods, in the goddamn grocery store, following them? Come on, dude. I mean, really, and why? Like, why? I don't get that. Why would you just watch them? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. Like, he's sitting there, they're on the porch, and
yeah, they're talking, and you see him dip out behind a tree.
He just dips, and then he's fucking in the grocery store. He's getting some fucking Marlboro Lights and some fucking, some beer for later that he's gonna kill Tatum with.
Fuck, man.
It's just, and there's
like fucking Where's Waldo?
Exactly, but
where's Ghostface?
And you go from that to a great scene, which is the sheriff and Dewey, and the fucking sheriff has the same boots, and it's like, oh shit,
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, when he puts out his fucking...
Oh shit, that's what I was supposed to look at? When he put the cigarette out, that his boots were the same?
Because just before that, we saw Ghostface get down with boots on, and then fucking... yeah. So
Wow.
there was that whole thing, which is a great scene, followed by an idiotic scene with Ghostface fucking shopping, Well, you don't think anybody would notice a Ghostface on aisle 4?
Dude.
Like, what the fuck,
You know what's
dude?
weird about it? That scene is in a way lovable to see him in the reflection of that thing, because it's like, it adds the spookiness and the fun. It's very fun. And that kind of thing, to watch that, and it's cute and fun, but it makes absolutely zero sense.
None.
And how could the filmmakers not all sit there, like, these are normal people making these movies just like you and me? How come the people that are like you and me didn't go, wait, guys,
right,
are you fucking with me? We're gonna have this guy running around the supermarket when she's getting tampons and fucking whatever else she's buying for the night, like.
And what for, dude? Like, why is he there? If you're not gonna kill him, why are you stalking? Like, it's so stupid, dude.
It's fun and spooky, but it's stupid.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, why would these characters do such a thing and risk after everything? The night of the fucking anniversary, the night before her mother was fucking killed, and they know a party's gonna be fucking. He even, hey guys, come over to my house. They set all this up. Hey, let's go fuck with them in the grocery store, or hey, let's go in the woods and the.
Yeah, they're going to the party.
Dude, I'll bet you they could find out the same information if they were just there.
Yeah, they could just stand there. They don't even have to hide. They're best friends with these people.
Exactly. It's like, come on. Those are the scenes that really piss me off, dude. And you're right. Like, and even that cut from Ghostface to Frankenstein, it's alive, and then boom, you're at the video store. Like, even in that shitty fucking cut, you go from a really shitty, over-the-top, hammy thing to a fucking cool cut, Frankenstein cut, and then,
It's a cold cut.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Jamie, you like the janitor bit. What do you feel about when they have, like what we just said, the guy running around like that? Does that take you out of it?
Honestly, it never did. In all the years that I've watched this movie, it never bothered me.
Really?
Now that you're talking about it, I'm like, motherfucker.
This went from a 5 to a 4.5.
But I think that was for our benefit, because at this point we don't know that they're best friends with them. We don't know who the killers are. So
yeah. No, yeah, we don't know that the guys under the mask are best friends with them. You mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so for us to see the killer stalking them just adds a little bit of extra something for us. But really, it doesn't make any sense. But I can't believe I never actually thought about that until you just brought it up. It never bothered me, and now I'm like, what the fuck were they doing? It doesn't make any sense.
And you know what else this movie has? It has that classic Halloween 4 moment. Remember that how unfucking believably cheesy moment in Halloween 4 when I guess it hits the news that Michael Myers is back and he's killing people, and there's this amazingly cornball moment where
he says he's back. Well, Michael Myers, the guy that killed my brother or my cousin.
That's who he is.
Is that what they say? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that corny moment. It goes, and my stepbrother, that's who he is. No, an actual movie. In Halloween 4, so Michael's out and everyone's afraid, and they have this weird scene where all the parents just pull up to the street and they go and fetch their kids, and they're all in this big hurry to do, like, come on, let's go kids, get in the car, hurry up, and like, it's this fake urgency moment, and it's fake. It's like a cartoon to watch it. It's so weird. Like, I guess unless you memorized it like I did or just thought about it, you wouldn't even know what I'm talking about. But here's the equivalent. In this movie, everyone's like rushing to go, oh, the curfew. Come on, guys, hurry up. Get all your stuff. Roll up the fucking blanket in the middle of the park and our food that we're eating. We got to go. The curfew. We all have to get, like... Guys, and the guy's like closing the store and hurry up and gets in his car and he drives away because we all got to be home for the curfew.
You didn't know about the curfew before you planned that picnic?
Yeah, exactly. Like, guys, if you left 5 minutes earlier, you wouldn't have to rush.
Right.
Why are you rushing as if you just heard about this curfew this very second when if this was announced? Like, it's just so weird. Those weird, phony moments is just strange.
But at the same time, while that's happening, fucking Red Right Hand's playing. Come on, that fucking song while that scene's going on.
Oh, the music in this movie. Let's talk about the music for a second. Like,
Jesus. Oh my god, this soundtrack is fucking amazing. I immediately went out and bought this soundtrack. Like, bam. I was like, because any movie that's going to play like Nick Cave, I'm down.
Jamie, this was one of the first CDs I ever bought, dude. It was crazy. Like, I got this and I played this motherfucker. I played this motherfucker till the wheels fell off, son.
Like Alice Cooper, Nick Cave. Are you fucking kidding me? This is great. Plus my favorite song, a cover of my favorite song, which does not in any way overshadow the original version of it, but I still think it's a pretty cool cover.
What's that?
Of
Landslide by Billy Corgan?
No. No, Don't Fear the Reaper, which was also a nice nod to Halloween.
So good, right? Yep. So good, though.
Did they play that with the introduction of Billy and he turned out to be like the Reaper?
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
The acoustic version. Oh, it's fucking incredible, dude. I love it. And then, like you said, come on, dude. The fucking cut to the party scene. Come on, dude. Fucking play Bird Brain. Fucking say your prayers for the youth of America. Come on. That is the best fucking song to start a party off to that I actually, yes, I'm a fucking dork. Let's just say this.
Oh,
but
God.
I used to fucking pregame with that one, dude. I used to fucking jam that before I get out, get nice and fucking lit.
Really?
And then, oh, yeah. And then fall down.
Loser. So then, I'm just kidding.
I know.
So here's the funny thing about, we talked about Rose McGowan. Hey, can you get me a beer? She goes out. This is only going to be really, like, funny observational-wise to fans of the movie. Like, why the fuck was the kitchen blue? Are they on Weird Science or something? No? Nobody? Nobody knows that reference?
Yes, I know the reference, but I don't think I ever noticed that their kitchen was blue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In this movie, I don't think I ever noticed the kitchen in this movie. I was watching the people.
It's completely blue. And
really? I never paid attention to that.
Yeah, you see it when she walks to go get the beers. She walks, and I'm like, what the fuck is she? Where is she? And I look, it's the kitchen. It was just weird. I don't know.
I never noticed.
It's funny if you're into the 80s, and they reference so much shit then.
Right.
My only weird complaints about this movie seem to be like weird action scenes, like the terrible stab to Drew Barrymore, the weak ass sweep Nev Campbell did to knock Ghostface off his feet when she was on her back. Like, she wouldn't have the momentum or the anything to get him off his feet. Even if she had her other foot against something, she wouldn't have the strength. And in this one, Tatum runs or something, and she opens the freezer and knocks this guy clear off his feet. A freezer door, at most, would bang into you, and you'd block it, and it would bang right back to where in his original position. Like, everything they seem to do to Ghostface is devastating.
And dude, let's just put it this way. Fucking Ghostface gets his ass handed to him in these movies. Like, he is a clumsy motherfucker, dude. He's got to deal with so much shit, dude. Fucking bikes, fucking everything getting thrown downstairs and just, everything. Like, anything you could possibly imagine Ghostface goes through. And, beer bottles getting thrown at his dick, dude.
Oh, that was cool, though. I like that.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was real, too. That really happened. She fucking nailed him on accident.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But you're right, though. You're right. And plus, dude, let's just say one shot right before that, the nipple shot. But when he was standing there at the fucking door, dude, and just the whole camera angle with fucking looking down, that whole scene got a little weird, because it was the first time where he was just kind of not the first time he was fucking with anyone, but it was the first time you see Ghostface and somebody's not running from him. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was just kind of fucking with her, and then, obviously she runs, they get into the thing, and boom, fucking you get stuck in the thing, which, I mean, I know, it's so popular now, but you look back to it, that's a fucking cool death, dude. It's not the greatest death in the world or anything like that, but shit, man, I liked it. The only problem is I've heard the main thing in my head... Yeah, I mean, the fucking thing would collapse,
Well, not only that, I can't even walk under my garage and dip underneath it after I press the button without it going back up.
It'll go back up, yeah. Let's just say that's not enabled, right? Do you really think it would hold in 100, whatever, fucking...
10-pound chick? No.
Yeah, do you really think so? Or do you think
I'm wondering why she didn't back out of it. I mean, when it starts going up, just back... Right. I mean, she's stuck. Well, you got in there. You can get back out.
Right, right.
Yeah, he didn't exactly hurt her that much when she was in it. She could have just got out.
Just fucking push with your arms, fucking get back out.
I'm too invested.
Yeah, exactly. I'm already.
I've gone too far.
I've gone too far. Stop now.
But I mean, to me, it was clear. I don't think she even looked stuck. The whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, just back out of it, dude.
Right,
I mean, just
back out of it, bitch.
Yep.
Yep. Well, hey, how about this? Look, we're all into this movie. It's exciting. It's fun. But were you ever so into this movie as these guys were into Halloween? I mean, let's face it. This movie, Halloween, is 22 years old at this point. Yes, it is better at that point of the movie, but it's a slow burn Halloween. Have you ever seen kids so glued to the fucking screen like they're watching... Like, it looked like they were watching wrestling or something, and they're all huge wrestling fans or something. Like, they were way into Halloween, man. Like, it was the most amazing thing they've ever seen in their lives.
They were also drunk.
They were also drunk. I was gonna say that, Jamie. And I have friends that will try and watch. Yeah, I fucking love this movie. And but if you look at it, Randy's really the only one, and then Stu, because Stu too.
Dude, everybody was like, "Oh!" Like when the guy got stabbed up against the wall.
Right. But he also says, "Fucking, I want to see Jamie Lee's tits." Like clearly, this guy isn't a Halloween fan if he thinks Jamie Lee's tits are coming. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's the thing is a lot of these kids. They weren't. They didn't know shit. They didn't know shit about horror.
That's what I'm saying.
Now they're interested because of what's going on in their own backyard.
Except for Randy and Stu and shit.
Yeah, he said there was a run on mass murder movies. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I always thought was weird when the girl's like, "What's the werewolf movie with E.T.'s mom?" And he's like, "The Howling." I'm like, "Why the fuck are you watching The Howling right now?" Like, it makes sense to me that you would watch Halloween or Friday the 13th or Maniac or whatever, but. Had The Howling? What does that have to do with anything?
What's the movie with Colin Clive, and he gets this monster to come back? Oh, it's Frankenstein. Okay, I'm going to watch that while there's a mass murder in my town. Really, sweetie. Get with the genre. Get with the specifics of the genre, at least.
Right?
the entire movie of Halloween is so out of sync and everything is wrong with it. Like, he stabs the guy against the wall, and then they all react to it, and then he tilts his head and blah, blah. Then all of a sudden he goes to tell everybody the rules, and then he presses pause, and the knife is up to stab him against the wall again.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? Like, couldn't you plan this out any other way?
But at the same time, dude, it's kind of in sequence when Dewey comes in later and the Halloween music is playing and she's in the closet.
Yeah, but I think they drop that like one too many times and in spots that aren't even where it should be. And
you think so?
If I remember correct, there's everything is wrong with this when it comes to time. But
continuity, yeah.
But that's just a nerd observation. So,
oh, Jamie, look behind you. Look behind you, Jamie.
Yeah. Jamie Kennedy, perfect.
Isn't that amazing? He's referencing her real name. Look behind you, Jamie. And his name is Jamie, and he's not looking behind him.
I know. Well, when he was talking, I'm looking behind me in the theater. I'm like, what?
Oh, Jamie. Wow, look at that. And now Jamie's talking about it.
That was funny. And I just talked about it. How about that?
Now, what do you guys think about the whole 30-second delay aspect? I mean, I personally don't have an opinion. It's whatever. I love it too. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, you know, she snuck a camera
but
in.
You didn't have an opinion.
Well, no. I didn't. I
personally don't have an opinion. I love it too. Wait.
I don't know. I love it.
You know what? When I say it didn't reference it at all, it referenced everything. No, wait. What was the other one you said? You said, oh. And by completely the same, I mean different. I mean not at all, or something. Wait, what the fuck was that?
You know
it's like,
he was talking about Let the Right One In. He said this movie is way better, like leagues better than the remake, and by leagues I mean not much at all, or something like that. I was like, what the fuck? That was classic, dude. I love that.
I'll be here all night.
I don't personally have an opinion. I love it too.
I just meant in terms of moving the story along.
No, it was a great plot point.
Because if you really look at it, like from the Jamie thing, and yeah, he's chasing Sydney around. Okay, we're actually jumping.
Well, dude,
around.
look how it paid off, though.
Right.
He sees the guy at his car and he goes, wait a minute, and then he realizes Ghostface left, so he's right next to him at this point. And that's like a great payoff to the 30-second gag.
I agree.
You're right, let's not skip over. Okay, here are the rules how to survive a horror movie. Number 1, you will not survive if you have sex.
Boo.
You will not survive if you drink or do drugs. Me and Dan are out.
Yep.
3, you will not survive if you say, I'll be right back, so the Terminator is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, everyone is a suspect.
Yeah, man.
That's not really a rule of how to survive a horror movie. Oh, I guess it's just rules. That's all.
No, he does say that, though, to successfully survive a horror movie. He does say that, so you're right. Good point, Alex.
I was having some geeky moments there the first time I watched it too. I have to say, when he was going over all that shit, I was just like, yeah. I mean, it's like he was talking to me. You know?
Well, this movie is a movie for horror fans and non-horror fans. The dichotomy of the movie is phenomenal. Like I already said, they want to be so hip and pop culture and new and MTV generation. Oddly enough, it won the fucking MTV Best Picture award.
I remember that, dude. That's when I used to watch the MTV awards. Holy fuck, that brought me back. Wow. Sorry, go ahead.
And it wants to be so fresh and new, and yet it's so old school. It's made for horror lovers, and it's made for people who don't love horror.
Can I say something about that, Alex? I think it's a lot of the same, but that's what makes it good. Like, it's just a new take on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's basically looking at something from a different angle, from a more knowledgeable angle, and a self-meta.
From the audience's angle. And when does that ever happen?
It builds up to the end there, dude. And at the point we're talking about with Gail, and I mean, you say everybody's a suspect. What did you guys think of when Dewey's walking with Gail down that road, too? Because I even thought that was fucking creepy, dude. Yeah. I mean, I didn't think it was Dewey for a second, dude, but I'm thinking, dude, this is fucking kind of creeping me out. Like, I'm having fun. but this whole fucking movie and the score, and it's kind of like a somber tone with what's going on, because you feel bad for this girl. This isn't like this is a fun slasher, I hope this bitch gets it. Like, you feel for this girl. What other fucking horror movies do it like this, where they have the same fucking leads, if you will, in all the fucking movies, have them survive? It's brilliant.
And
dude.
what other horror movies have a different killer every time?
Exactly. Anyway, that's another thing I was gonna say. With all the killers that don the fucking mask or whatever, you know what's cool about it? It seems like no matter who it is, it doesn't matter. It's Ghostface. Like, it's
Isn't
almost
that
like
weird?
whoever's in that. Yeah, it's almost like they are that character. The way he moves, especially. It's just crazy to me how people don't pick up on that, dude. What other fucking movies do that, where they have other people come in and they kind of, and it all makes sense, like that.
Friday
really
5.
Well,
Roy, fucking Roy.
God damn you, Jamie.
Were you talking to me, Sheriff? Well, what the fuck, Roy? Just wonder if you're talking to me. Roy, get the fuck out of here. Load those bodies in there.
Roy, get out of here so we can fucking reference you at the end and nobody will know what the fuck we're talking about, because this is a lame-ass fucking scene that we're going through in 30 seconds. All right.
Hey, Roy, you look like fucking Lou Ferrigno when you fall off the goddamn...
Hulk smash.
You fucking nut, Roy. So Skeet gets to ski inside of his chick.
Yep.
And,
You think she let him, really?
Oh, sure. I mean,
he seemed to me the type.
What do you think? She took it on the stomach, or she...
I'm not sure what. She reminds me of the type who would probably make him shoot it in his shirt or something.
She really would.
Like a towel.
She would.
It's like, ew, don't get it on me.
You see, it's funny because in a cutscene that you don't see in Scream, Nev Campbell is talking to Tatum, and she says, "How many calories do you think are in sperm?" And then Tatum goes, "Honey, if you're drinking it that much, the guy won't care if you're a little chubby."
What, dude? I've never seen this scene. I
No,
wanna see it.
do you have the Blu-ray? It's in there.
I do. Wow, I've never seen it. Wow.
Yeah, so that's what she does with it, if you want to know. I just want to drop a little insight, because everybody says all we do is give our opinions. We don't actually give you any information, so I wanted to give you something
There you
legitimate.
go. There you go. Information and an opinion about that. Boom. This is...
Someone on iTunes, they said, if you like just people giving their opinions, there's a really good show, but they don't actually...
Isn't that the point of
That's
listening
very
to a
true.
podcast, is to get people's opinions, though? I mean, that's pretty much what... If you want to know about the show, fucking look up Wiki. I mean, the movie, look up Wiki, or go to IMDb. That's not our job.
Yeah, asswipe.
But we actually do. I mean, we drop a lot of shit.
Yeah, of course. Look at all the psycho shit we dropped and the classic stuff we dropped. We dropped tons of shit on there. Fuck you. No, but thank you for the 3 stars, though. So, so Gail does one of those annoying things where you're like, well, fucking hit the brakes, bitch. Like, she's riding the van. Kenny falls off. Great scene when she wipes the blood off the window, and Kenny she's like, get the fuck off me, you fat piece of shit. And she, he falls off the van. But then she swerves out of the way of Nev Campbell. And, why wouldn't you just hit the brakes? Why are you still going full force off the road, off into a ditch? Like,
I don't know.
Does anybody else think that the music that plays, like when the blood is all over the windshield and she turns on the windshield, does that remind you of Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, it does, actually.
Every time. It's like straight from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah?
That's what I think of every time, yeah.
All the music.
Next time you watch it, think about that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, and then she crashes. But see, now is this scene? I forget if it's before or after what I'm about to say. But when she's hiding, when she sees Dewey come out, Dewey's stabbed, and then that's what gives him that fucking gangsta ass limping too. and then I think he's got it in 3 too, but then in 4,
He's okay.
I think, yeah, he did physical rehab or something.
Yeah, right.
But
he's tired of doing the walk.
Yeah, exactly. The pimp walk, the fucking... Now, what did you think, though? Ghostface comes out, rips the knife out of him, and fucking here we go again, and then she gets herself in the car in Dewey's fucking Scooby-Mobile whip, whatever, little Jeep fucking truck thing, cop things that they have. This is another fucking scene
I don't remember that.
You remember when she's in the car, dude, and she locks the doors?
Oh, yeah.
And then he's got the keys and bloop, they pop up and then you see it in the fucking back, dude, which is crucial too because she's calling for help. So you know that the police will eventually be there, probably right after the final scene. But, she gets on the radio and does all that shit, which I want to say too takes the cops a little while to get there.
They suck, man.
I must say. Think about the time she calls and then...
By the time they get here, it'll be too late, bitch.
Yeah, and then she goes in and actually, no, I think it's right after that. Yeah, she goes in and then it's the whole fucking situation. Yeah, you're right. She runs out and then it's the whole situation with fucking Stu and Randy.
No, but I'm losing track because the big reveal comes in the kitchen.
Right.
And then she pops out with a gun. And she said that you left me for dead in the van. So she must have done the car gag first, then did the van, flipped over, and that was...
She goes, I thought she was dead. He goes, she looked dead.
So what do you guys think of the big reveal? This is another, classic scene, almost perfect.
Well, this is what I'm saying, though. Yes, Skeeter comes down and fucking falls down the stairs, and then, it's the pig's blood and Carrie, and it's the whole fucking...
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Boom!
Anthony Perkins,
dude.
Psycho.
Exactly. And then even right after that, when fucking Stu comes walking in, and she's like, "Oh, Stu!" And then you could just see. To me, that was the cool part because it was a more subtle reveal. It was just kind of him looking like, "Baby, you're fucked. Like you're fucked." And then you have to kind of say, "Oh shit." He's in it, and then he could. Oh yeah, he's definitely in it.
And then they do the whole thing, the motive thing, and that was pretty cool. I thought the motive was good enough. It just didn't. It didn't. I don't think it's. What's it called? It merits killing principals and. Casey Beckham broke up with Stu to go out with Steve, so that's okay. I don't think you would kill. Well, I guess Tatum. It's his own girlfriend. But like you said, I don't know. I mean, there was only 7 people killed in this movie. I mean, I just don't think you had to kill your own girlfriend. I don't know why I'm hung up. I just can't imagine not having sex the next night.
Maybe she wasn't giving him that much sex. You never know.
Well, she looked pretty frisky when he was, carrying her down the sidewalk.
Exactly. Maybe that's why. She was a cock tease. Who knows?
Yeah, right. Wearing those little ugly skirts. She probably teased him. They have to set it up so that they look like real victims, and they decide to stab each other in the stomach when logically you would say, well, dude, just stab me in my thigh and miss that big organ, we'll just stab me here, stab me in the shoulder. Instead, they go for fucking really sensitive places to get stabbed. It was kind of weird. Why couldn't they just hit him over the face with a board or something and stab him in the arm? And then, but it does pay off because the guy's like, I'm feeling a little woozy here.
Well, they could have went all Fight Club on it like Jill did in 4 and start smashing her fucking self on the table and shit. And even though it looks gruesome with the glass and all that, she's not inflicting any internal damage like they were. But dude, I'm sorry, man. That stab scene, it didn't take me out of a Scream movie. Not by any means. It just amplified that. Holy shit, we're not fucking around here, dude. That was some brutal ass shit. For a horror movie, dude, that shit was sketchy.
No, I loved it, and I'm just saying this now.
Sick as fuck.
But watching it, no, I think it's awesome. When these guys, when they're dying because of these stabs, do you feel that these two guys are two wannabes, two hacky loser wannabes, or do you still feel they're legit at that point when everything's going wrong?
I think what we find out here is that Stu, he succumbs to peer pressure. He says that, but
peer pressure.
What we have, yeah. my mom and dad are gonna be so mad.
You're not really calling the cops, are you? You bet your ass.
Billy Loomis, what the fuck?
We find out here is that Billy is the true psycho. He is demented. He's brutal. He's evil. He really doesn't give a shit if he hurts Stu or not. I think he actually enjoys it a little too much. Stu, on the other hand, is just sort of going along. He's not totally sincere about it. I mean, when it comes down to it, he's bleeding out. He's worried about his parents being mad at him. This is. I think he didn't realize it was going to go as far as it did. Intellectually, he knew it. He knew what the plan was.
But living it out is different.
I don't think it really hit him. How real it was. you know.
I'll take it one step further and say this, Jamie. I don't even think that Stu knew about Billy's motives until he said it to Sydney.
Yeah, I mean,
look at his face.
As far as he was concerned, I mean, like, you get the whole thing from Stu where he's like, you know, that he goes through all the motives that they have, and then when I think when Billy finally like really hits what he's going after, Stu is just as surprised as everybody else. He's like, "What? Wait, what?"
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he don't know, dude. He doesn't know. He just thought that they were doing this fucking Love is Scary Movie thing, and they were gonna be the survivors and blah blah blah. But yeah, dude, you're right. Yeah, absolutely.
They pull out the dad.
Did you guys think it was him though when they found his car? Because that was sketchy. That was like, holy shit, what the fuck? Because to me, I was like, what the fuck is the dad's car doing there? And I knew why, but it just built it. It just seemed like everything built in this movie. Like, oh shit, they find the car. Oh fuck, who is it? Who is it? And then when the reveal comes and you start, you know, when he drags him out, like you said, and I thought he was a goner. Like, I thought they were going to kill him right off the bat. I'm very surprised that guy lived, first of all. Straight up. And, you know, with that whole fucking sequence, too, about...
And it was great that he did live since we never see him again.
Yeah, right.
You see him in Scream 3.
That's right.
Yeah,
there you go, Jamie. There you go. You blew it.
But that doesn't even count. It's not even a real movie.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler!
So Gail comes in thinking she's going to save the day. She's too dumb to realize that the gun has a safety on it. Like, I mean, I guess I could see that. You know, she goes to pull the trigger, it doesn't work. I mean, what are you going to do? Practice outside? Or does she even know where that thing... I don't know. But, you know, so she gets knocked out. She lands on Dewey, who's supposed to be dead, by the way. He actually dies when he stabs him in the back and lands, because if you look, Dewey's not breathing when he's on that floor, and it was actually written that he'd be dead, and they actually changed it at the end because I don't know if they went back and shot whatever, but audiences loved him so much, and I don't know how they knew that before they shot the very, very end, but he was actually written to be dead at that point.
Yeah, Wes Craven shot it, and he says, just in case, I'll put this in, and then he did.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Perfect.
So here's the weird thing about it, though. So she comes back, and, you know, with the gun, I hate to jump. Well, let me just focus on the gun part. We don't have to jump the whole thing.
Yeah.
So she knows she shoots or whatever with the gun. And then she says, I didn't forget the safety that time, asshole, or whatever.
Motherfucker, yeah. Oh, asshole.
Number one, like, she could have just assumed this or whatever, but she never heard him say, it works better without the safety, bitch. Like, she was knocked the fuck out. So why is she responding to his snarky comment when she has no idea he even said
it? Yeah.
Maybe when she woke up, Dewey was like, he was talking shit about you, man.
Well, maybe she did put it together, though, because she knew, obviously, once she squeezed the trigger that the safety was on, and then I know something you don't know, and then he kicks her, and then he's like, oh, the safety wasn't on this time, bitch. Like, maybe she just assumed it. You're right, though, dude. I've never thought about that before, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Wow. Yeah.
You know, Nev Campbell, when they're hurting Gail, Nev hides in the closet, takes all the stuff, calls the cops, and says they're on their way. And meanwhile, the cops were already called. I don't know why she has to call the cops again. But, you know, the cops are on their way. They didn't come the first time, but I guess they're going to show up because she called. And,
all right.
Because Gail called the cops. And so she comes out and pokes Billy with an umbrella. And supposedly the first time, well, it was a stuntman actually hitting him, I guess. And the umbrella hits this big board that they put in front of his chest. And then when he strikes again, he misses the board and actually hits the actor Billy, Skeet in the chest. And you could tell by his reaction, and Wes Craven liked it so much that he kept that in there.
Where he had a previous injury there, that he happened to hit him right on the spot where he was already injured, which is why his reaction was as bad as it was, because he was already hurt. Not movie related. He had a previous injury.
Yeah.
So then, he gets shot, I guess, by, I forgot who, Gail maybe, and he's on the floor and he's dead, and there's where Jamie Kennedy is like, oh wait, real quick, we'll go back to that. So, Jamie Kennedy says, well, this is where the killer gets up for his classic, one last scare. Then Billy jumps up, scares everybody, and Nev Campbell shoots him, and she says, not in my movie. Like, well, he just did. He just did get up for the one last scare. What do you mean? Not in your movie. Because everybody seemed to be scared. And like, are you referring to just yourself? And you're referring to, well, I wasn't scared of his jump? Or like, what exactly do you mean? Not in my movie, because it just happened.
I like in the second one too. She's just like, just to be certain, she fucking caps the bitch in the head.
Exactly.
Doesn't even give her the fucking satisfaction that her son got. You know?
Right. Well, that's what you have to do if you don't want him to do that in your movie.
It was just a clever line, though, really. I mean, it was just a punchy little line that they threw at her.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
You know, because you're right, it did just happen. So, yeah, even in your movie, bitch.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, right. So the one thing I wanted to jump back to before we wrap it up, you know, we did finish, but I just want to say one thing real quick. Because we're going on for God knows how long, and it's probably longer than the movie running time. And,
oh, yeah, by far.
Yeah. So one thing I just want to say, when you never knew who was the killer, and Stu and the guy was like, "No, it's him, Sid. No, it's him." Blah, blah. Who did you believe?
That was Randy and Stu at the time. Yeah. I believed Randy.
I did too. I really did. I didn't more believe Randy more than I saw Stu as the killer. Like the way he's like, no, it's him. He's pointing at. I don't know. For some reason, I was like, I think it's him. But then again,
we had seen Randy being all drunk on the couch before that with the dude behind him, and you know, I mean, we really knew it wasn't Randy.
Oh, I'm sorry, dumb question. I'm sorry.
Then again, though, we thought, well, yeah, we saw fucking.
Yeah, wait. We also saw Stu let people out of the party while his girlfriend just got killed. So again, there you go.
Right.
So in our eyes, actually, neither of them should have been the killer.
But with Randy, there was no one around at that point when he was all on the couch by himself. So who was he fooling? He wasn't fooling anyone at the time. You know.
Well, at this point, it would be fooling us, the audience. At that, you know what I mean? Like if we're talking in terms of that, it would be to trick us. You know what I'm saying? Not that they did that, I'm saying, but that would be the sole purpose of it, right?
Well, I guess, and with that point, I guess we knew, but it would be tricking her if, you know, as far as Randy and Stu goes, because
exactly.
She didn't know what we knew. I mean, she didn't see him drunk on the couch with the dude behind him. You know, we did, but she didn't know that. So
actually, she did see that. She saw it on the camera. Remember?
Oh, that's true.
On the camera.
Yeah. Well, so they weren't fooling anybody. I don't know.
Yeah. So why did she say "fuck you both"? She just said, "Well, I did see you on the couch. Okay, come in."
Yeah. Right. That's why I think, dude, I would have said that too, though. Like, with all this shit running around, I don't know who the fuck's the killer. Fuck you both. That's what I would have done too. Like, I don't know, y'all. Fuck y'all. You could kill me if I let you in. And then,
fight it out amongst yourselves. I'm fucking in the house. That's what I know.
Hey, man, I can't blame her. Yeah, that was a solid move. So, yeah.
Yep.
This is Mr. Skin from MrSkin.com with all the skinfo from the latest movies. Nude, and more nude on demand. It's Nymphomaniac Volume 1. Model Stacey Martin stars as a sex addict in the Skinston classic shocker and repeatedly bears every inch, getting banged every which way and loose. Nymphomaniac? They ought to call it Skinfomaniac.
This is the Mr. Skin Minute.
Nude on Cinemax, Ivana Milicevic is getting bare again on Banshee. She's one of the top 10 nude scenes of 2013, and her model-grade mams look just as great in the second season. Banshee will make you say, I want to see some more. Nude on Blu-ray, Tandy Newton stars in the DirecTV detective series Rogue. And in between solving crimes, Tandy gives us some great looks at her Fig Newtons. It's not DirecTV, it's ErectTV.
MrSkin.com. Fast forwarding to the good parts.
So we're done. I guess we gave our overall thoughts and all that shit, and this is long anyway and thorough. So,
yep.
So rating time, I guess. Jamie, let's do technical, since this is a retrospective. We'll go all the way. So technical rating, 1 to 10. What do you give this?
Ooh, I'm really tempted to give this an all-out 10. I mean, apart from the fact that it was extremely well made and well written and well acted and looked great, it had a fantastic soundtrack. Then there's what it did culturally, and
you all right?
Wait, I thought one of you were just snoring. Were you just snoring?
No.
Oh, I thought you just snored at me because like I was going too long.
No, I was pissing into a Coke can. Is that what you heard? You heard the piss actually hit the rim?
I thought you were going, like, all right, wrap it up, bitch.
No, I'm pissing into a can and dumping it out the window right now.
Nice.
The issues that we have with it are really minor and totally overlookable. Most of them I have overlooked over the years and didn't really, even some of them I didn't even notice until we started talking about it. So, yeah, I really can't think of anything horribly wrong with this film, not even enough to knock it down.
What about all the stuff we talked about, like the bad action parts and the ghost in the supermarket? Like, that has to bring it a little bit from a 10.
I don't think so.
Technical. This isn't about how much you love it.
I know. Well, okay, if it did, it would be like a 9.5. So, okay, I'll go 9.5 because it's not perfect.
Right.
It's damn close, though.
5 out of 5 rating thing.
Oh, love it?
Yeah.
Love it.
Love it. Okay.
5.
Okay, sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
It's okay. Technical, I'd say the same just because of those couple fucking scenes with Ghostface, but to me it didn't really, take away from anything. It just as somebody that's gonna say this is their favorite movie of all time, I'd be a douchebag if I were to say it is perfect, because it's not. There are those couple scenes, so I think a 9.5. You're absolutely right, and I fucking love this movie. 5 out of 5 for sure. It's my favorite movie. So yeah, that's mine. What about you?
I think we brought up a good amount of dumb things, like the guy in the bathroom, how long was he going to hang there, and all that type of shit. And, there's a lot of things like that. Things that are just for plot, not for reality, things that,
That's true.
I'm going to say technically it's a 9, even 9, or an 8.5. Even though it had such an impact, and I think that impact and what it did for horror comes more from the 5 out of 5 love thing. I think that's more important than a couple plot holes and glaring omissions and things like that.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Yeah, I think that works. So I guess as far as loving it, how do you say this? Because I don't watch this movie a lot, but every time I do, I love it, and I think it's really good. I'm going to have to just say 4 out of 5. I really like it.
Talking to you about this movie, I can tell that you like it because of the shit that you talk about. I mean, just the stuff that we were talking about today, I could tell the way you were talking about it that it doesn't really matter because this movie has so many good things in it. And rarely do we review movies that are like top fucking notch. And I give everything fucking 5s. Fuck y'all. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we rarely review top-notch movies, and I think that this is definitely in that upper tier. Whether it's perfect or not, to me, to everybody, is irrelevant. It's the fact of the matter that everybody puts it in their top fucking list. Or not, I shouldn't say everybody, but a good majority of the people put it up there and put it up in high regard. It's one of the best horror movies ever made, And I think it's very accurate. I think it is, and it's one of my personal favorites. I just fucking love this movie. And we'll get into the sequels after, but this is the epitome. This is what it's all about. It was this one movie, and everything else was just fucking feeding off of this one movie.
Yeah, and if I had to like make a list of like top 20, I'm sure this would end up on there.
Cool, nice. Hey man, maybe you need to keep watching it a few more times.
Well, just talking about it makes me want to. But
there you go. I'll probably watch it again tonight. No,
well, this is my girlfriend's favorite horror movie of all time.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes, dude. I love Tiffany. She's awesome.
That was Scream. We'll be right back with Scream. No, actually, this was so long that we're going to end the show here. So,
yep.
So we hope you enjoyed. That was weird because probably that intro music has been playing for a few seconds now. So, the exit music has been playing for a few seconds. So, I guess this is the Skeleton Crew signing out. Scream 1. That's the beginning of the retrospective.
If you hang up on me again, I'll cut you like a fish. Understand?
Bye, everybody. Play us out, Buckethead.
Woo!